ERIPATHTHA NAYANAR. Karur was the secondary capital of Chola kingdom. ERIPATHTHA, a devotee of Shiva, was a resident of Karur. அழலவிர் சடையான் அன்பர்க்கு அடாதன அடுத்தபோது முளையறி என்ன தோன்றி முரண் கெட எரிந்து தீர்ப்பார். He had taken it on himself to punish those who harm anyone doing service to Lord Shiva. He had also armed himself with an axe to aid him in this endeavor. Selvaganapathy, an aged person, also lived in Karur. Right through his life, he was engaged in the service of collecting and offering flowers and garlands to Pasupatinathar, the presiding deity in the Shiva temple of Karur. On the early morning of an auspicious Navami day, Selvaganapathy finished as usual his routine rituals of the morning. He was on his way to the temple with the flower basket on his shoulder. Pattavarthanam, the royal elephant, considered to be a symbol of the sovereign king in those days, was coming with the mahuts, men who mind the elephant, from the opposite direction after its bath in the river. When the elephant came close to Selvaganapathy, in a flash the elephant snatched the flower basket, tossed it up, and trampled on the garlands that fell on the ground. The scared mahuts turned the elephant away from the spot and moved fast. The shocked old man chased the animal in vain and fell down in the process. Poor helpless Selvaganapathy appealed to Lord Shiva, "Eliyar valiyam iraiva, Sivada, Sivada." ERIPATHTHA, the self-appointed savior of Sivanadiyars, arrived at the scene. He soon realized the need for his axe to act. The trunk of the elephant and all the 5 men minding the animal were felled with his axe. Word soon reached Puhilcholan, the king. He, however, misunderstood that the royal elephant was done to death by an enemy. So he set out to the scene with his ministers and all his 4 regiments. There was no enemy with his army at the scene, but only an unperturbed ERIPATHTHA, the Sivanadiyar, stood there with his axe in hand. The wise king quickly realized his misjudgment, walked up to the Sivanadiyar and said, "You must have punished the elephant and the men for some wrong they must have no doubt committed. As the king and their master, I hold myself responsible for whatever they did. Here is my sword. Please use this sword and not your sacred axe to sever my head." This act of humility, fairness, and compassion totally transformed ERIPATHTHA. He now thought it was he who had acted in haste and had therefore to be punished. So he quickly grabbed the sword, set it on his own neck, and started cutting. The king, in turn, was quick to hold the sword back with his steely hands. At this critical moment, they heard the divine voice say, "All this was ordained by the Lord of Dancing. Tolunthagei anbin mikkir, tondinai manmel kaata, only to show to the world your ardent devotion and love." The king and ERIPATHTHA fell on each other's feet. The elephant, the mahuts, and Selvaganapathy got up alive. The basket was refilled with fresh flowers. This episode of ERIPATHTHA NAYANAR exemplifies the importance of love even in hostile circumstances. Thirukural emphatically says, "Arathirke anbu saarpenba ariyar, marathirkum akhse tunai." It is the unwise who say love is only for righteous deeds. It is equally effective even when dealing with hostilities.